If you clicked on this video, you likely identify as a perfectionist, or you're at least fully aware that perfectionism is influencing your life in some way. Whether you wear it as a badge of honor or you can tell that it's holding you back, I'm here to explore with you the role of perfectionism and how we can unburden ourselves from these expectations that are not attainable and they're actually holding us back. I used to wear perfectionism like a badge of honor. I thought that if I did everything right and perfectly, I would be accepted, I would gain approval, and I would climb the ladder to success, feeling so much fulfillment. The more I chase this expectation of perfection that is not achievable, the worse I felt about myself because I was constantly measuring myself against this gap of where I thought I needed to be and where I understood or at least saw myself to be. So, in that gap, I've learned from Brene Brown's work lies shame, that never enough, I am unworthy, constant need to change who I am. And if we think about perfectionism and its role in life, we think being perfect is going to increase the likelihood that we will be accepted. However, again, Brene Brown's work is in order to feel that true sense of belonging, we need to feel that acceptance for who we actually are, to feel like people know us and they accept us for that, versus fitting in where we change ourselves, we abandon parts of ourselves in order to insert ourselves into situations where we otherwise don't feel a true sense of belonging. And that part, that fitting in, can lead to loneliness. So, what we really want when we're craving a community is a sense of true belonging. So, how does that relate to perfectionism? Well, perfectionism really forces us or pushes us to abandon the reality that we are humans with flaws. So, in order to appear perfect, we have to perform, we have to put on some sort of mask, we have to hide some of our insecurities, hide some of our flaws. So, we're constantly trying to be something other than we are. And that is exhausting. So, if you think about social media, people say, you know what? I don't want to be visible because people are going to judge me in some way. They wait, try to curate their content, try to make it as perfect as possible. And that type of content won't land. It's not real. If I see overly polished content, I don't really trust that that's true. It doesn't feel genuine. And why it doesn't feel genuine is no one is perfect. One of my favorite people to listen to on YouTube is Rich Roll. To me, his vulnerability and willing to be himself is something I can completely relate to. Even though he's got millions of followers, he's so genuine. So when you consider people that you relate to, people that you feel so attracted to being around, what about them makes you feel that way? When you feel this need to be perfect, how does it impact your thoughts, your feelings towards yourself, and your behavior? How would your life be different if you unsubscribed from the belief that everything that you did had to be polished and of the highest caliber possible? For me, I'd be a lot more visible. I'd have a lot more fun, be a lot more relaxed, and just appreciating who I am, where I am. And as a person who loves to learn and grow, it will help me with that process to enjoy the process. When it comes to learning, especially in school when we are graded, perfectionism can have us hyperfixate on the outcome and take us away from the enjoyment of the process. That's been true for me. I have felt that much of my education has been spent focusing on getting the good grades at the detriment of really just embracing the educational experience. I am coming to the end of my master's in marriage and family therapy, and I'm really trying to embrace this lesson and embody it and learn for the sake of learning, for the sake of helping. It certainly isn't easy. A lot of what we have been trained about the importance of grades is hard to detach from, especially because it does matter in certain sectors in order to continue to grow and get opportunities. I will continue to strive to do my very best. I feel an authentic pride when I submit work that showcases my very best in that moment. So, detaching from perfectionism doesn't mean we don't continue to strive for excellence. It's really about grounding ourselves in what does excellence mean for us and devoting ourselves to improving areas of our life and to performing in a way that feels authentically pleasing. Meaning, I'm not going to chase all these achievements and accolades for other people. I'm going to chase the learning and growth that aligns with my values and what I think will bring the most meaning and fulfillment to my life and what I can offer to others. So I'm curious what this conversation brings up for you. Anything else you'd like to contribute? Any questions that you have? It's been a long time since I've been on this channel. Just to showcase no perfection and the consistency that's often prompted as being the most important thing to growing on YouTube. I didn't want to be consistent for the sake of consistency on YouTube. I wanted to come and show up when I felt I had a message that could be valuable for others. And that's what prompted me to show up today. And I hope this conversation helps you. I'd love to hear your takeaways, your reflections, and how you're going to apply it to your life. Until next time, thanks for being here.